Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 24. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report, where we have plenty of news, plenty of updates. We are at week 24 now of 2024, meaning we are coming to halfway mark of the year, and there is still plenty of things to come. We have seen plenty of developments on our channel here in the past 5-6 months now, and there's new things coming all the time. We can update you obviously on all our EAs, all the profits in here. But we actually also, for this particular week, now know that there's going to be a new EA that we have to look into. We're going to have to see exactly how that works and where that comes from. Well, it actually comes from EXPERT4X, continues to launch new ones all the time. Now, this one here is not official yet. You have to be a premium member. We're going to tell you a bit more about it here later on in the program, but this is good news. If you're a premium member, you can actually get your hands on this earlier than many other people, so you get a head start, you get a good understanding of how everything works. So that has been basically the trademark of EXPERT4X, where the ones on the premium forum, they always get a chance to have a look at the EAs first, come up with changes, adjustments, recommendations, whatever else is in there. So this is definitely a good idea. We'll make sure also that we'll provide individual links so you will understand what this is all about when we have more information. On top of this, we have also made a new video this week. So this is for the RSI PAMM account in here. We try to explain exactly what this is all about, where you can find more details and information. You can see the profits that we have made so far, how this is done, how you can follow it. And this is only the first part of a series where we're going to explain to you also a bit more on how we set up the EAs, how we test different things in here. So maybe go and have a look at that one if you are not part of the RSI PAMM account yet, and see if this is something for you. But we have plenty of other things in this news report, so please make sure you get your tea or coffee or whatever is your preference in here ready, and let's go through all the different details that has happened in the past week. So in last week's news report, we told you that the certificates for the NFTs for Yieldnodes here has come out. We certainly have received it. We understand that many other people have also received it. If you are one of the ones that still haven't received this one, please let us know. We would like to know, of course. And we also mentioned last time here that we wanted to have a meeting with either Steve Woods or even both of them here in Malta. We haven't heard anything back from Steve yet or from Woods exactly when that's going to happen. So we're going to have to continue to try and push for this particular meeting where we can go and see the guys in person, face to face, and hopefully also get a bit of a talk about how things are moving along with Yieldnodes, with Yieldnodes Pro, with Decenomy, how everything is set up. That is something that we would like to hear. We have seen a couple of reports or videos here through some German-speaking people, but maybe it will be a good thing here also for the British or the UK, Canadian, US, and the rest of us that speaks maybe a bit more English, that we go and have a look and see exactly what can be done and when we should expect actually something new and positive coming out of Yieldnodes and Decenomy. Until then, let's have a look at the SAP coin. Not really much happening. As you can see, the red circle we have over here is basically where we left it last week, and the numbers are pretty much the same. So it has been trading sideways all through the week. So obviously not really much to see, not really much to be excited about here at the moment. Very, very small, minute movements, and obviously the price also is extremely low. We have to wait and see what is coming, and this is definitely one of the questions. When can we start to see again the SAP, the Rolls-Royce coin of the Yieldnodes and the Decenomy? When will that actually be moving in the right direction again? What are they doing to try and promote this overall? In the meantime, we are obviously also doing the staking. You have seen that for weeks and weeks. We continue to tell you that it's not really very stable, so it's not something that we get once or twice a week or once or twice a month. It comes drizzling in at different times. You can see this was what we had last week. So this was on the 3rd of June. We got 280 SAP. Since then, we haven't gotten anything. And if we just look down, we could see that on the 23rd and 24th of May, came in just one day in between, basically making May a very nice month here overall for the entire 2024. Now, June doesn't look to be so good, so obviously there's a big difference from month to month. And obviously, yeah, there's not much we can do about it other than keeping it open 24/7 and then basically try and catch as many SAP as we possibly can. So when the price goes up again, we are in a better position. 24,138 SAPs is what we have in the wallet for staking right now. It's a lot better when we look at the PNY. So the PNY here, again, we can see that sometimes we get something in. We had 28th of May, and then we have 2 times on the 3rd of June. And then all of a sudden nothing for another week, and then comes in this particular week on the 11th, actually twice. So just within about 10-hour time spans. And then we have another one on the 14th. So overall, for the month of June, the PNY looks a lot better. And what we have received here is about 2% or 399 PNY. So that is a good development overall. And also we have now surpassed 20,000. So in the wallet and for the staking, we have 20,048 PNY. So things are also moving here in the right direction. Obviously hoping right now that some of the coins is going to be worth a bit more in the future. Another coin is the Bitcoin versus USDT. We left it last week, and that was just slightly short of 70,000. It was about 69,400. Since then, it has been in a volatile environment, going basically from the 69 all the way down to 66, then back up to 70 here, and then only to drop all the way down to 65,000. And for the past couple of days over the weekend here, it has been trading pretty much sideways and currently is around the $66,130 mark. So obviously it is not at the all-time high at the moment, but on the other hand, 66,000 is still very good price for the Bitcoin at the moment. Having a look at the Trillant platform in here, there is some slight news. As you know, here we have discussed a few times before. There is a lawyer in Vienna apparently forwarding some emails, and they are writing in here. As previously reported on Telegram, some of our members have received an email from a lawyer in Vienna. We do not know. The lawyer obtained the confidential email addresses, so they don't understand where this is coming from, but they have already requested some disclosures for the sources, and then they would like to ask for the members for the help again, saying it's important if you have received an email from the lawyer in Vienna, Austria. So I believe last time they mentioned something about Australia, so maybe that was a bit of a either spelling mistake or just mixing up the countries. So if they know anybody who has received such an email, please forward it to us immediately, and then you can call in or on the email here, support@trillant.com, and then they just thank you for the support overall. The second part is the important note of official communication. Again, ensure all information is passed on correctly through the platforms in here. We're currently receiving all information by emails and official Telegram channels, so you can stay up to date on these. And again, the official Telegram channels are below here. So there's one in German, one in English. So if you're interested in that, then you can team up here. The last part is the bottom where it says the next live call with the CEO will be able to take place again soon as the procedures are completed and we have more freedom to act and work again. And that will be obviously very nice to hear a bit from Eric, exactly how things are moving, how did the audit go, what can we also expect here in the future. In the meantime, we're going to have a look at CoinStore and the 3 coin in here, how that has developed. And unfortunately, that has gone a bit similar to the Bitcoin. It has gone downwards. We left it up here last time around at 0.0001133. Since then, it has been quite volatile through most of the week. And then for the past couple of days, things have slowed down and pretty much trading sideways also here. And at the moment, the price is at 0.0001043. So again, still going in the wrong direction also for the Trillant platform and the 3 coin itself. We also have some both ups and downs for the Money 3 this particular week. For week 24, the low risk one actually hits not a margin call in here because there's actually stops. And normally we have put that at a certain percentage for the equity overall, and then it closes all the trades. And that's actually what happened on what we call the low risk one. It lost $2,569 or minus 44%. So this has been set up for a very long time and long time ago. And one of the things that is in here is it has all the currency pairs that the money tree was set up originally with. So that is the standard part that we had in here. So this is the low risk one. And obviously we wanted to look at that, and then we changed them into medium and high risk accounts. So the medium and high risk accounts is our basically settings, and it is also our currency pairs. That's why they're doing so much better. We are not using all the whistles and bells within that particular EA because we have dissected it in previous videos. And that's why you see the medium risk account actually did $72 or 1.5%. And then the high risk one did only $43 or 1% for this particular week in here. So let's go and have a look at the low risk part and the original setup. We can see that it actually started with $10,000 a long time ago now. So this was back in 2023. And then it had quite a few drops and had a good run for long periods of time, and continues here not to work so well at the end of the day. Again, this is something to do with the currency pairs that are being traded. Some are better than others. And once again, we had basically the stop out, so for that particular one. And that now brings the equity down to about $3,000, and it even has a floating minus of 177. So close profits, as you can see, it has lost 6,700. And margin level obviously is still fine, and the history is 512 days. So this is the original setup when you get the EA, and obviously that has not worked out so well over time. So, and if you want to have a closer look exactly what are the differences, this is our website. We have the initial IGFX Blue link that we tried to use a different broker. You cannot really use a different broker other than Blaze. We have also seen that. So again, that's what we have been testing in here. So the Blaze FX Blue link is actually the original setup. And then the ones that are normally doing quite well is our setups and our changes for the medium risk, and the high risk is down here. You click those and it takes you straight to the FX Blue. So if we go over to the medium risk account, as you have seen before, it looks like this. This particular account started actually off with 5,000, not 10, but that doesn't really matter. It shows that we had similar issues in the past. We then found the right currency pairs that we wanted to trade. We found the right settings, and since then, as you can see, things have been going quite well. The equity is now 6,100. At the moment, there is a floating profit and loss of minus 551. So let's hope it gets over this particular one. Overall, the total return is 22%, and that's even after we have lost out a few times in here. History is up to 414 days. So it is possible, definitely, to run quite nicely with this particular EA, but you have to make the adjustments similar to what we have done. And you can see more about that on the Money Tree playlist that we have also on YouTube. You can go and find that one and see exactly how we managed to get this to work. Medium risk one, also let's have a look at all the data, weekly returns, monthly returns, and then the history in here. Again, we're not changing the lot size of this particular one, and that's why you see a monthly return is quite low. Plus, of course, we came from a lot lower value than the original 5,000. But let's go and have a look at the net profit overall. So this one here has been quite consistent for the past couple of weeks. You can see 79 from the previous week, 70, and now this particular week we are at 72.57. And these are the currency pairs that the medium risk one is using. It's the same currency pairs that actually also being used for the high risk one. Now, also when you go to the website, we have now mentioned week after week that we are winding down on the profit retriever. So that doesn't mean it doesn't work anymore. It just simply means that we want to have the focus on the RSI, the Wave, and the HDA. And now there's also a new one coming up that I explained to you about in this particular video in the beginning. So we want to focus on some of these things here instead. Profit retrieval was great. It works definitely over long periods of time. So we have seen that. But the new ones have some extra nice little features in here on how to exit and also enter again. So it is a bit differently, and we prefer to run with those at the moment because we feel we can easier control the drawdown at the end of the day. Drawdown is normally not a problem either when it comes to the Trade Explorer. For this particular week here, the 22 pair is done quite well. We have made a small lot adjustment for the 22 pair because we think it was a bit too low on the risk side here overall. $210 or 2.1%. So now it's actually matching a bit closer to the 10 pair one. You can see the 10 pair one also did quite well, $222 or 2.2% for the week. And that is a good average of what we normally see the Trade Explorer cashing in. So let's have a look at the numbers. Again, these are the different currency pairs that we are trading for the 22 pair one. Also here, the monthly returns is actually a lot higher. Again, because we have it on the copy link service, we are not changing the lot size, even though our account is now 20 or 30,000 for the two accounts in here. History, we almost have 400 days now, so very, very nice. And then you can see the weekly returns that we have. So let's go back for about 4 weeks, 279, 125. So that was a bit on the low side, 241, and now 210. So it's doing quite well, doing about 1,000 every single month. And as a copy link service provider, you can obviously turn this up or down depending on how much money you actually have in your account and you copy trade with. Quick look at the 10 pair one also. The 10 pair one obviously have, as it says, 10 pairs to trade, and these are the ones. You can see the percentage also of the individual trades here. The weekly and monthly returns is a bit higher, and we said that's also why we have dialed up the 22 pair just a bit on the lot sizing, nothing heavy. So monthly returns 8.6, but we are closer to somewhere around 10-15% every single month. History, same 396 days as we have on the other one. And if we look at the past couple of weeks on how this has developed, 4 weeks ago it was 427, so that was a very nice month. 206, 320, and this particular week we had 222. So again, good and stable profits. Also here we are on the right side of $1,000 and more than 10% if you have a $10,000 account every single month, and that's what is important, the stability in here overall. Now let's have a look at the Wave Liberator for week 24, the top 5 EAs that we have around this particular time. Things have gone in the good direction in that particular week. Euro Swiss francs, $93 or 9.3%, and this is only for 1 week, so really cashing in quite nicely. The US Japanese, which many is very afraid of trading, we are trading it. We see that things are working quite well, and as you can see, it's also cashing in quite nicely with $68 or 6.8%. EuroCAD, $47, 4.7%. Also New Zealand, $44 or 4.4%. And then Swiss francs Japanese, $37 or 3.7%. And if you would have traded those top 5 here in the past week, you would have made $291 or 5.8%. So that is a good, stable average overall. Looks like also that some of the Wave Liberator EAs are basically doing a bit better. If we have a look at the entire Wave Liberator range here, we have 20 different EAs. We have put them on the portfolio. Started off with 20 times 10,000, so 200,000 in here. You can see a very nice smooth line because we have so many different EAs all contributing. And when some are in drawdowns, other ones are in plus and vice versa. Floating profits at the moment is at minus 5,074. And that has been pretty much stable all the way through. It's always holding this back a bit. It takes a few months. It can take sometimes between 2 or 3 months. It can take up to 4, 5 or 6 months. But then it has this trailing floating profit in minus normally that runs most of the time because you have always open trades at the end of the day. Closed profits almost 18,000, so 17,916. And obviously it is a portfolio here now that we are running on demo accounts. And then total return 11.7%, monthly returns 1.3. And again, this is because we are running them on $10,000 accounts. You can, however, run them on a $1,000 account if you want. And then it will be 13% on a monthly return, 3% on a weekly one. Trade wins are looking good, 68.5%. So it looks like things are going in the right direction. History we now have in here is 300 days. So very, very nice to see that things are so stable over long periods of time. You can find more about all these signals also in here on our website. Here are the 20 ones. You can go and have a look at them. You can click on the individual ones. They'll take you to the FX Blue site where you can then have a closer look at profits, drawdowns, whatever it is that you are interested in. Everything is for free. You can simply just go and jump on the website in here and then dissect all the data that you want and put it in whatever format. You also have just an update, so you can see the same graph that we had before, same history, of course, but now we are looking at the individual weekly profits that is coming in. Also here, since basically the last 4 weeks, we have seen it had a bit of a dip, 209. Then things were looking a bit better, 236. And then for June, 455. So things were picking up again. And for the past week was 397. So it was doing quite well. Obviously, we can see there's back in March and April, things were better. It was $500-600. But that's basically the nature of the beast. Sometimes with EA, the Forex market will do whatever the Forex market wants to do. Same with the RSI Liberator also in here. Also this week is quite good. It's quite similar and stable from last week. Great British Pounds CAT actually did $78 or 7.8% for the week. So that's also very good weekly profits. Euro USD made $75 or 7.5%. And then Euro British Pounds, $49 or 4.9%. Aussie USD came close after with $44, 4.4%. And then Great British Pounds USD, $42 or 4.2%. And overall, we actually made on those top 5 here, if you would have traded those, $287 or 5.7%. And on a weekly basis, that is definitely good enough for us. You can also see that we have 22 EAs in this particular one. They also set up on $10,000 accounts. And at the moment, the balance has gone from 220 to 224,329. Equity, we can also see the floating profit here. We have a minus 5,900 at the moment. So again, we have that following all the way through. And that is quite normal. So it takes a bit of time until this actually goes into a full profit mode on the equity part. We need to have the equity above the 220,000. So in the first couple of months, you have to be a bit patient. Total returns is minus 0.3%. And obviously, again, here, this is because our equity is below the 218 or 220,000 mark in here. So that's why it comes up in a minus. Monthly returns is plus 1% at the moment, or if you trade it on $1,000 accounts, it will be 10%. Weekly returns is 0.2, or if you again trade it on a $1,000 account, it will be 2. Trade wins is a bit lower than what you saw before, 65.9%. But it's cashing in quite nicely. A lot of pips. Trades per day is about 22, and our history is 69 days. So definitely it is working quite well. We have also made some changes to the RSI EAs in here. So that works both for the copy link service, once that will actually be added to it. And you can find a lot more details again on our website. Here you see, similar to what you had on the Wave Liberator, you have the individual currency pairs that you again can click. You'll get you over to the FX Blue, and then you can dissect all the individual trades to see which ones is actually worth trying to set up. If you have your own EA, you can go and have a look and see if Aussie New Zealand is the best one. Maybe Aussie USD is another one. The Japanese currency pairs, yes, they are pretty much trending from time to time, but on the other hand, they're also cashing in quite well. So it depends on the risk you want to take. So having a look at the numbers again, as we saw before, on a weekly basis, you can see that back in mid-May it was 208, so that was not very good. So that's where we had the all-time low. Since then, things have been picking up. So 385, 560 was last week, and now this week it's slightly higher, 569. So these are definitely some good numbers, and we are very, very happy with the development of the RSI Liberator. And that's also why we have made this particular video here this week. So this is for the RSI PAMM account, and we explain that particular one in here. So this is where you are not trading, you're simply just putting money in together with Blackpool, and then we are adding the settings for the EAs. We are doing different currency pairs, and that is basically what we are explaining. This is only the first part of a video series in here. So this is only how you can get started, where you can find the details and information, and also where you can see some of the profits, similar to what we are showing you in this particular video here today. And later on, we will try and explain a few more details on exactly what we are testing, how things are being set up. So that will be in one of our future videos coming very, very shortly. And you can find details about that on our website already now, both for the Wave Liberator and the RSI Liberator that we just went through. And on the PAMM account here, you will find a lot more details on this particular one. When you click here, you actually end up over where you can also, again, have a look at the individual results, the videos that we have made through those in the past. You can click here also to start with the Blackpool part, or you can actually download the setup instructions. That will also help you if you need some help and assistance in getting this going. So let's have a look at the high-tech investment, the Wave Liberator account in here. Weekly returns 1.5, monthly returns 6.4. It is a bit low with a history of 108 days. Again, you can see the quick drop we had here. This was the 50,000 that was taken out that we explain every single week. This was never a loss. Even though it shows up in FX Blue, no investors lost any money out of that unless they actually take money out. Then Blackpool will actually make a calculation depending on the balance and equity, what you had before and after, and that's why it actually shows up like this. Now you can see our individual months back in mid-May. It was pretty bad, 695. Since then, things have been going better. It's going upwards again, and that's why we're saying slow and steady, because we have been in a bit of a turmoil with first the Japanese yen, and after that we have also seen the Swiss francs. We've seen a couple of other currency pairs that are a bit strange at the moment. So that's why we are trying not to push the EAs too much. There's no reason for that, as long as we are cashing in quite nicely over time. We can see last week we made 5,297. And this week we made 4,207, so a bit lower, but it looks like everything is going in the right direction again here. So definitely we'll hope to cash in a lot more, and hopefully also be able to dial up the EA a bit again. So, but it all depends on the risk factors in here. We also have, again, for the MQL5, so we put that over there just to show you the difference in between. Again, the data is not absolutely correct, I have to tell you, because you can see the pale blue line in here, and then you have the more bright blue. This is actually when we set these accounts up for the MQL5, because we figured out the data on the FX Blue was actually not that accurate. So again, these numbers are sort of kind of mostly where we are. I think May 1 here is a bit too high, definitely. And then June, again, that will also be adjusted. So hopefully we'll still be able to do somewhere around 8-10% for that particular month. So here of June, we'll have to wait and see. For the RSI Liberator, it also looks quite low. It actually not that low. Again, this is also an investor taking out about $10,000. Nobody lost any money, even though it says minus 4,183 in here. That's unfortunately just the way FX Blue works. But the monthly, weekly, and monthly returns has actually been going up quite fast, and you can also see that things are going quite well. History of 59 days for this, and when you have a look at the net profit for the individual weeks, you can see the first week was actually quite good, 777. Then it dropped. Then we had the money taken out of it and came back to about 20,000 on that particular account. Since then, things have been definitely looking good, apart from mid-May, where most of the EAs were down, so only made 439. and then 877. Last week was 933, and then all of a sudden the RSI cashed in big time with 2041 for the past week. So this actually happened already last Monday, and this is sometimes there was a big actually weekend gap, and that's actually where the EA cashed in. Normally it would have cashed in a lot sooner, but because of the weekend gap, basically going from Friday to Monday, it managed to cash in a lot bigger than it normally would. That's also the reason why we have almost double the profit for this particular week here. We haven't really dialed it up that much at all. And then have a look in the MQL5 for the RSI Liberator also in here. Again, the pale blue is before we actually added the details in here. You can see again the drop when the investors removed the money. Since then, things have been going quite well, quite smooth. And at the moment it says the June one, which is most probably in that area, 7.6% halfway through the month. So that looks like at the moment we are on the road to maybe somewhere around 12 to 15% for the month. That will be obviously nice, and I'm sure the investors will enjoy that too. Going over to Alex and EXPERT4X. Alex actually has a new tool that he has added on to his website in here, and basically it's a new search tool where you can find some winning settings for your trading robots, and he explains in this particular video here how you can actually make use of it and how you can find the details that you want to have. And more importantly, as we mentioned in the beginning here, Alex has also sent out an email. These are for the Premium Forum members to test the new robot over the next 4 to 5 weeks, and saying here this new robot is going to be called the Lucky Trader, and apparently it's producing some amazing results that he has tested already. He's saying up to 400% in return over 5 months in 2024. So he was basically testing this one from 1st of January until the end of May. And now we can now test it over the next month or so and try and see exactly what we get out of that one. You can then post some of the details in here. We can discuss the EA to see exactly how that works. So we are obviously also going to be joining that part, and we're going to show you some of the results. We're going to add them also to our website once we set everything up, because that has just been available now for download, and we'll go in and download that. We'll set it up, and then we'll have a look through it. One of the things that are in here is basically it's a bit of a random entry compared to some of the other ones that we had in the past with the Profit Retriever, the RSI, and the Wave Liberator, and the HDA. So it will be interesting to see exactly how that works, but it makes use of some of the same trading strategies or payment recovery processes that are in there. So time will tell exactly how good this one is compared to everything else that we have. So this is what we had in this week's news report. As you can see, there is plenty of profits, there's plenty of updates, there's plenty of development. As always, we are trying to follow everything on this particular channel in here. Profits are good. At some EAs, they are even better, but we are using the slow and steady approach. That means that we are very happy if we can cash in every single month, not necessarily 20, 30, or 40%. That is not what this channel is all about. We are talking about good, steady progress over time, where we are hopefully not losing any money. Definitely that is not our goal. And at the same time, we also have a good idea that as we are using more EAs, that also helps at the end of the day, not putting all our eggs in one basket, simply spreading out the risk over multiple different accounts, multiple different EAs. And that's also why it's so important that we are looking into these new EAs from EXPERT4X, try and get them updated, understand exactly how they work, and then try and present that the best way possible to you as the viewers, so you can decide if this EA is something for you. We will of course also put again some of our trading results in, so you can read it for yourself. Hard facts, this is always the best way to obviously show people if it's working or not. So I hope you will give us a thumbs up and a comment also on the news report here, and hopefully I'll see you on one of my next videos. So until the next one, bye bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. so please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way, you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.